Hey everyone, I know this is a follow-up to an old video of mine, but I still want to talk about some stuff that came out about the Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fight. When I first made the video, the fight was like in a very early stage of like being planned, with nobody really having a set date for it, even though like both parties were like talking about it a lot. And that's what normally happens with these kinds of events, with everyone getting like really hyped for it, but then being like in a state of limbo where nobody official has come out to talk about it. And this is the exact same thing going on with this fight, which doesn't really surprise me, because none of these guys are really fighters, so they probably have to go for like a long process to like set it up. As you mentioned, since their line of work is so far removed from fighting, their process of getting like a license might take a bit longer. If this was against two normal guys, it would probably happen sooner, because it's just meant to be like purely entertaining, with the risk of like getting severely injured is very low. So even though this fight with Mark and Elon isn't going to be like as dangerous as like an actual MMA fight, they still have to go through the process of like setting up a date and then handling like the promotional stuff as well. Because with a fight this big, it's bound to be like advertised everywhere, because this is like a really like a once in a lifetime situation where two like billionaire CEOs, who are mainly seen as like unathletic and like nerds, actually fight each other in a cage. Even throughout the history of sports, I don't think like a matchup this big or this bizarre has ever happened, and it still blows my mind that this event is like it's even being planned. The closest thing I can compare it to is like probably like the early days of like YouTube boxing, with like the people involved and like the amount of hype it generated. But even then, those seem more tame compared to this one, because at least with like the fight with YouTubers, there seems to be like some beef going on that made it actually like look like they wanted to fight each other. And although the beef was fake and was just like artificially made to like generate more hype, some people actually did envision them fighting in an actual boxing match, which is what led to them making so much money from it. But even this fight seems like really like far removed from reality. And even though it might look like they're gonna have like a barely violent MMA match, they're really trying to make it like the most grand, spectacular fight ever. Because now, they're planning on hosting the fight at the Rome Colosseum in Italy, which is by far one of the most like well-known landmarks in the world that has to do like gladiator fights. I'm not all surprised by this, because I'm pretty sure in the first few days of this being planned, I'm pretty sure somebody brought up about this being in a Colosseum. I can't remember who it was, but it was more than likely Elon, because he does seem like the kind of guy to like plan this kind of stuff. Elon has always been like the energetic kid behind this event, always planning stuff that makes no sense, but happens anyway, just because he wants it to. Even this behavior has like stayed with him long before he planned the fight, with him like posting really cringy stuff on Twitter that you would see from like a grandpa. So when he first tweeted that he wanted to fight Mark, simply like prompted you by like some guy joking about it, everybody was shocked on the first day, but after a while, we all realized that this wasn't like that out of character for him. So from the beginning, he was just like a kid, always hoping that it was always gonna be like in a Colosseum, just to make it like spectacular. But I really don't know how they're gonna host it there. And I don't mean like how they're gonna get permission. Because Dana White has already like talked with like Italian officials to like get it planned out, because like he's so hyped for this event because he knows it's gonna be successful. So I'm just wondering where they're gonna put the octagon when there's already like so many walls in the arena. The only potential place I could see them putting it at is like this one sliver of space like near the entrance. But even then, that's very close to the wall, so anybody like seated there could barely see what's going on. And for the audience, I really don't see a good place for them to sit at, apart from like the few seats that like still remain there. Compared to like an actual UFC stadium that's meant to like have massive amounts of people there, this area really pales in comparison when you think about like how many people are gonna come just to like see the fight in person. I believe that like a huge source of revenue from this event is gonna come from tickets, so this spacing issue is gonna be like a pretty big problem if they want to make like as much money as possible, which is important because the money from this event is gonna be like donated to like charity for veterans, which I have to respect, because that's one good thing coming from this event, since like so many people are gonna come to like see the fight. But without having like a good place for like the audience to sit at, I don't think they're gonna be able to like sell as many tickets as they want. There will be people who watch it from like streaming services, but I think anyone with the money would much rather like fly there and watch it in person. And to be honest, it's not that hard, because Italy is already like a pretty popular like tourist attraction. So even though it hasn't been like 100% agreed on yet, I'm pretty sure like the officials will let them host the fight there, because it's already good to like have tourists visit the country. I want to talk about the other parts of the fight, because previously in the other video, I talked about like the people that offered the two guys training for the fight. And there were actual UFC legends coming out to say like they would be happy to work with him, with one of the guys being GSP, who actually went to like Elon to train with him, also bringing Lex Friedman and John Danaher to train with him. And I'm not gonna lie, it was weird seeing like Elon be over GSP, but of course I still hold on to my belief that like Elon isn't gonna do well in the fight because of like his age and like weight. At the very least, I feel like GSP and his guys are gonna teach him like some grappling skills, which to be honest would be the best option to have, because I feel like Mark would just try to like win the fight by like submission. So even if Elon is a taller one in this situation, he definitely has like the least amount of stamina between the two. So after round 1, I can't imagine him trying to like swing or kick at Mark, so he should probably like prepare in case like, he goes on to like grapple him. So far, I still believe that like Mark is the most prepared for this fight, with him having two UFC legends training with him, that being Adam Saya and Volkanovski. And it's funny because both Elon and Mark have like enough money to buy like the best trainers possible, but then these fighters go ahead and train with them anyways, which to me is mind blowing. Now I'm not 100% sure if they will like pay you or not, But if they weren't, I could see like them like wanting to get the attention from this event, because this would get them seen by a lot of people, and it would look pretty good on them to like train with them. They might even go with them when the fight happens and attend it, which to be honest would be pretty funny, seeing like these MMA champions be the cornermen for these two guys that people see as like nerds. Now, even though I've been portraying like Elon as like the child in this situation, Mark isn't free from this, because he made like the weird decision of building an MMA octagon in his backyard, just for the sole reason of like getting ready for the fight. I have no idea why he wanted to build one, because even though like I understand he's passionate for fighting, it would be way more convenient to just like drive to the gym and train there. Especially with the fact like it's built outside, so when it rains it's probably gonna get ruined, so he's probably like forget about it like after a week or like after the fight's done. Even his wife hates it, and to be honest so would I, because she actually sounds like she cares for like her garden. So to have your husband build like a huge fucking cage right dead center, it would be pretty shit. I also like how he includes a vote on like whether or not he should keep it, but I know for a fact privately his wife's gonna like yell at him to get rid of it. In his defense, he hasn't been like as annoying as like Elon has, because from like what Mark has been saying, it does sound like he's been announcing stuff out of nowhere without like consulting anyone in the group, which has made me like not trust whatever he says in the future, because he will definitely like announce a date that will just get cancelled. So it's better to just wait for like Mark or like Dana White to say a date that I've actually planned on. So even though this fight has been agreed on for quite a while now, I'm actually glad like there's some work behind the scenes to get it going. So yeah, I definitely look forward to the fight and like how it's gonna look like in the Colosseum. So hopefully you guys a video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.